This conference will now be recorded.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, first thing's public hearing on the budget.
How about prayer?
No, we can do a prayer. Thanks, Grant.
This is a budget.
Budget for prayer. Prayer.
O Lord, as we gather this day to do the important business for the people of the village of Owego, grant us wisdom, compassion, and understanding.
Amen. All right, so public hearing on the budget. Move to close the public hearing. Second. Matt's got something.
Yeah.
I got a question. How did you guys get from a nearly 24% increase down to less than 4%?
We don't
It
have
was
time
not
to
easy.
tell them that. Magic.
Cut.
Where, I would imagine there was many small cuts, but what was your major cut?
Yeah, so we went through, the biggest change was OPD and and the revenue was the other big change.
What changed with the revenue?
So we found some outside, other revenue,
Okay.
like outside of the taxes, like we bumped up like stacks and some grants that we're getting in and stuff like that.
So revenue is anticipated, and we under anticipated, but now we hope we're anticipating correctly.
Yeah, no, last year the county way underestimated the tax revenue for us.
Okay.
So we cut our budget way back last year. We were under 1%. I mean, our goal each year is about 2%.
Right.
So that's why we're at almost 4% this year. We were way down last year.
Yeah, last year was actually negative 2%.
I see EMS looks like that was quite a hike also. Is that because of AEMS at this point?
You have that budget?
Yeah.
Look at the part-time salaries on there.
Yeah.
And you'll see that's $170,000 or some such number.
Yeah, what page is that?
There you go.
It's not unique
EMS.
to Owego, everybody.
No. 172. So there you have it.
Oh, yeah, that's the byproduct of using more paid versus volunteer.
Yeah, the EMS budget is like just before the sewer. There's 3 pages in.
Hopefully we get more volunteers.
Yeah.
That's the goal anyway.
So it's mostly just you were able to cut it down from outside revenue and
Yeah,
cutting within the budget itself.
kind of a combination. You can see the requested versus the proposed there, like for the numbers, but we added revenue outside of taxes and then cut some of them.
You mentioned OPD. What did you cut in OPD?
It was part-time salary, I think was the big one that we think was probably out of whack
So there was a
with
pay
what they
reduction?
submitted.
There was a pay reduction?
No, don't do that.
No, I think they just submitted the wrong numbers.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he was anticipating hiring a few more part-time guys and
okay.
said, no, not this year.
Not gonna say hardly anything. We have a thing called the COPS grant where the government pays for a couple of cops for us. And we weren't able to implement it last year. We think we're able, what we're doing now to implement it now. So we get to take close to a couple $100,000 out of the salary thing. So we just did that. Without going into, I'm not, I say, so that's as not much detail as.
And we are, like, for the article, for the county seat, we have all the churches and schools and government buildings, so we're over 50% non-taxable.
Oh, wow.
And green spaces.
I thought it would've been.
I forget the exact number, but it's over 50%.
Yeah, don't put any of this in the story. that's fine.
He can
It's
go
good,
and get the numbers
you know.
and it's a fact.
Right.
We have not.
Do you
dropped-
not know when I'm joking?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't.
Yeah, anything that's stated
confusing.
publicly, you can print, you know.
That's all.
Anybody wants to donate money to the village of Owego, we would very much
Yes.
appreciate it.
Take
Can't ask
any
for it.
inheritance we can get.
Can't ask for it, but people can donate.
Well, like the Evergreen
Move to close the
Cemetery.
public hearing. I've asked the gentleman if he has anything more.
Sounds good to me.
The hearing is amongst ourselves, is all this chit chat.
Right. All right, so we'll move on to the board discussion. What do you guys think?
I think you did a good job getting it to fit what we have.
Right now, we're at 3.96%. Brings our tax rate per thousand assessed $21.43. Currently, this year, it was $20.62.
Mr. Mayor? Rodney told me that it was, this year was $20.20.
Yeah, I could find out. But I took it out of textbook.
Is that the tax rate? What we
Does
talking about?
that mean we're higher?
Well-
Where'd you get that 20?
That was my numbers from last year. When we get the budget.
You're still on the first page there?
So Mike, just for
Yeah.
clarity on this,
Look at it.
it's not really gonna be for clarity on this, Rodney, I had Rodney look up the rate for the last 4 years. And 2 years ago, it was 2066. So if it was 2062 last year, we would not have been dropping that, the 4% or so that we thought. If it was 2020, which is the number he gave me, then it would have dropped
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
like-
extra percent.
It's like 1.9% or something like that last year.
Say that again?
It's like 1.9, I think,
A 1.9 of what?
negative last year.
Then that would have had to have been the 2020, because it can't have been gone from 2066 to 2062, because that's almost dead even. So the 2020 that Rodney looked up is probably accurate.
Oh, what's this 2143?
It's this.
That's the
this
projected for
number
this year.
is supposed to be 2020.
So in 2020, it's a 6% increase.
That's
Yeah.
current, the current is 2020? Is that what you're saying?
That's what Rodney told me. And where it says current year adopted on the front page, and it says 2062, are you there? And all that?
Yeah.
If Rodney told me right, it was 2020 this year.
We double checked within the text one.
So then it's a 6.1% increase.
Yeah, from 2020 to 2143 is,
What if we put like 40,000 in sales tax? What percentage? Trying to come up with a number.
Mike, do you think possibly we didn't get this right?
Well, I know last year it changed after we did the budget, so that's probably why my numbers weren't. The tax rate changed anyway. 'cause they
What it was
changed
gonna
the
be last year, had we done the 1.8 or 9, I think, was gonna be right around, because we were playing around with it, right around 2099 or 21 even, if had we done the 1.8. So at every percent we go down is another $20,000. So we want,
What did it do?
4.4
if we have more tax revenue,
sales.
Sales tax, we're always short.
It's all
Well-
below, so.
I tried today to talk to Mr. Haynes. I don't know how close he is to his operation, but
Yeah, that'll help a little bit.
that would be I don't, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him about his projections, et cetera, et cetera. If it was, some of those places are bringing in a couple mil.
Right.
Say you brought it, that's high, a couple mil, 1.5%, that's 30 grand. But that's, that's having to project it.
Need 10, like,
Here. I should go back to double.
No, shit.
I don't know, today, is that?
No,
This is nothing to do with the
Well,
town.
it's good.
Just if we have it at
No,
all,
I'm going back to your marijuana.
Yeah.
Thing, it's 3%, isn't it, unless the town opts in, then we have to split that 3 with them?
once again, we're not sure about that at all. Don Castellucci did some research and talked to some people, and he believes that town gets to have their 1.5 no matter what.
That's what we were told at the class I took.
They get it.
Not the way they presented it all when they rolled it out.
no, which everything's changing in the town, so who knows?
Who knows whether they're gonna change.
Yeah, well, the town had opted out of having a,
The whole thing was rolled out.
Dispensary,
by the state.
Correct.
except they have an illegal dispensary now.
But if the town opts in, they get half of ours anyway, so we would only get 1.5 under
I was under the
either.
assumption the state didn't pull things out of their ass.
Yeah.
How about the third? You still got that version. They owe us plus the
Fire contract,
You only put in 32 this year, but they really owe us more than that.
they do.
Substantial.
I'd rather take a chance on that than raise the taxes.
We could attempt to go after them for
Do you think
some.
we can bring this down some?
We got a new
fire.
lawyer.
Right?
We do got a new lawyer. New old lawyer. What do you want to put in there? We got 31.5, which is guaranteed, that's what the contract is, they're signing.
But they owe us 140 grand.
They do, yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be, was it 27 was what it was gonna be?
Right.
We could, we could put 2 27s in there, we could put 54 in there, thinking maybe we were gonna negotiate for half of what we.
Right.
Because last time we had, wherever it is here.
31.5 is for this coming year.
Last year, we had 108.
We had 108 for last year, which was, four of those things, and they didn't get it
What line
to
is
us. Maybe we put two of them in this year. 54 in?
54 more?
But we don't have any in this year, do we?
Yeah, we got 31.5
Oh, 31.5,
with the new contract.
because that's the new one. The 54 is half of the old.
Right. We make it
It's just a thought.
80,
So, let me ask you, on the Owego Fire Department, full-time salary,
yes.
who gets that?
I want to say just a mechanic maybe,
He's,
because we split them into all the
was it
departments.
10,000?
Okay, so that's the equipment maintenance salary.
Right.
Right, that's the mechanic.
Okay, and the part-time, what's that, $1,000?
I don't know, we just check into that.
I think they get paid, they usually get paid to clean their section of their, like, department. Chris Franz used to do that for years, $600-800. It was like the police their own area. That's only if they give us a bill. The bill. Put it on over like 15 grand.
You want, what do you want me to make this 31.5?
Oh, I'd start.
What is it,
I
45?
was wrong.
Yeah.
And I needed it.
What are we looking at?
It's not.
What line is it?
It's a revenue line item for the fire department.
That brings us to 3.87.
That's taking the 31.5 and adding 54 to it, is that what we're doing?
No, we made it 45,000.
All together?
Yeah.
Well, that's only adding, from the 31, that's only adding 24, not even 24, 14.
Hope they would eventually just honor their obligation to you guys.
Well, yeah,
Without having to go forward.
that's,
Like that, you want to take the more money.
I don't know, I mean, that's where we started before we figured out that the tax rate was messed up.
Yeah, I think eventually everything else is just icing on the cake.
so, well, what would, Mike, so how much have you had?
So we took sales tax to 390,
And what was it?
or is it bigger than
Yeah.
45 or something like that.
350? So it's plus 40 of sales tax.
The fire protection,
That might work with the marijuana, but go ahead, fire protection,
31.5 to 45.
45, so 14 grand there. So 54 is what we've added total.
And what's it give you a tax rate of?
Tax rate of $20.98.
2098, rather than the 2143, which is about right, because we just popped up, about,
3.87.
little over 40.
3.87?
Yep.
Better than 3.9, what we started.
3.96 or something.
Say that number 3.87 would be the increase from the 220 to the
Yes, that's from 2020 to 2090.
2098 from 2020, okay. Does everybody understand that?
So what's the final rate?
3.86, but the final rate the rate is going to be, under this thing, $20.98 per thousand, as opposed
Okay,
to on
that's
our
per
sheet where it
thousand,
was
but I'm
21.
talking about percentage.
Okay, so let me just finish that. 2098 will be the number, the tax number per thousand, and the
3.87.
percent increase will be 3.86?
87.
3.87.
Okay. Okay.
Went down.
We don't have to do assessment. That moved us last year.
Yeah, I know, I called last week and said, if you got anything new, you better call us back.
So the assessment, if this is correct, then that number is 117 from last year, and it's now 118. That went up $205,000. But that's not much. At 20 cents, that's a 20 point,
Right.
2020 or whatever, it's $4,300. It's not a significant amount of money.
Expect us to do our due diligence if we can't get the numbers from them in a timely manner.
Good question.
That was a good question last year, Ryan.
Yeah.
We did that assessment after we passed.
Especially when they
Last year
shorted
was
us last year.
State. So it's an increase of 78 cents per thousand.
Right. That's how they get you.
220 to
Per thousand.
2020 to 2098, 78 cents more, 3 point, which is 3.87.
3.87%.
All right, because every 20, it's about 1, so that's about right. Every 20 grand is about 1%.
So what did we say the assessed value is?
The same that's on there, the
Oh, the
118,
same amount?
118,000.
Actually, 118.
118,003, makes that head.
You got to
I'm sorry,
multiply by 1,000.
100,
That's still the same?
118 million, sorry.
Right, yeah.
If these other figures went down, why isn't that going down?
What are you talking about?
We want that one.
What are you talking about?
We want that one to go up.
The tax rate went down and the tax.
We want the assessed value to go up,
Okay.
because that would
It's the
make
same, though. Like the county.
more taxes.
Last year, the last second they raised it.
5
After
million.
we did the budget, they
Yeah,
raised it
after.
by $5 million. And that put us in from a
Okay.
2%
That's how we got
increase to a 3%.
We couldn't adjust our expenses.
So, not that numbers matter, $5 million at 20.20, which was what our rate is, $100,000 of our revenues. When they raised that 5 million, we had 100,000 more dollars, and we worked hard to get our tax rate down to 1.8. And now we got 100,000 more dollars, which we would have put in the budget for things that we needed it for, to stay at 1.8, except it was too late, and now we had to lower it.
Take
Been hacked
lower
out.
expenses and divide it by a bigger number.
So that's it.
So what do we do?
Who makes a motion?
Motion to accept it. Is that what you're saying?
That's what we need to do,
That's what we did.
if you're happy with it.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget for this next year.
I'll second that.
Another discussion now? Everybody's good with it?
Is this for the general, the sewer and EMS, or?
Just a general fund, we're gonna do them separate. So,
I'm going last.
okay, Fran,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Rusty,
No,
and yes.
So it is written, so it shall be done.
All right, so EMS. The revenues match the expenses. Right now it's 692, 832, and 63 cents.
Yeah, the ambulance,
No,
one ring and wrap, if we have something to put people in.
that's true. So again, this
which
one
one are we on, EMS?
EMS. So with them billing for service, we basically budget with the budget, but we more or less watch their spending versus their revenue.
We have to make up any difference for that.
As you may remember, we talked about this before. We don't have to, but if we can, we need to have the revenue be the same as expenses. So, because if we don't, we have to raise the taxes for that potential shortfall. And we've already spoken with EMS and Mike, if in a month or 2 or 3, you're not getting the revenues, we're gonna be doing cuts to the budget.
Right.
It has to work out the way that we planned, or else, because we can't go $100,000 back.
Right.
So the fact, it's fine that we have it where we have it now, but we understand that that's our fallback.
So the mayor comments about the EMS budget.
We should be in a position to actually make a profit this year. Like last year, we had some issues, didn't we? Where
Hopefully.
either drop calls or something like that sort.
Yeah.
I think we've got that alleviated.
Yeah.
But we spent 110,000 on the new end.
Right. I will.
And Ron, of course, we got all those drop calls when there were people that would only pay people, so we shouldn't be dropping calls.
Right. That's
Exactly.
where I'm going.
Exactly.
Spend money, we should be breaking.
That has to
And like
That
I
has
was
to even out.
talking to Mike today, and right now, like the revenue that's coming in looks not great, but we're probably bringing in the revenue from that area where we dropped a lot of calls.
We're a couple of months.
The money coming in
Yeah,
is
'cause
like 3 months
it's behind.
behind,
Right.
3 or 4 months, like when you actually provide the service.
At the end of the year.
Now, did they increase the rate?
We did, yeah. So that helps a little bit. But things like Medicare, Medicaid they don't increase the rate, even no matter what we do.
May decrease it.
Right.
But
So 16
So
million
anyways,
people
it's,
that are gonna lose.
so everybody's got on board with this. It's 752, 194 change, both income and outgo. What's that? On the EMS pages, 1 and
752, 194, 63.
the revenue page 1 and the expenses page 2. And they're both 752, 194, right?
Yeah.
Am I getting it? Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what we wanted to do.
I got 692.
So, well, let's see.
This is the one I just got today.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was in the mailbox.
Maybe we should change it. Yeah, you're right, this is 52, 194.
752, 752.
I was making my spreadsheet. Maybe she found something I didn't have in there.
Yeah.
So let's go with the 752.
Where we going?
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. Do we
The
have
top
any health insurance, dental insurance, eyewear, et cetera, for EMS? Because that's the 796,909. On the next page, on 18.
Okay.
So we might be not having everything. I don't know. But then it says 7,
No, 796 is what
okay,
requested.
all right. Okay, that was requested and then it's been decreased to 752.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we added some back in there because like Mike didn't have the split in there for the mechanic and the
Okay.
trustees and that kind of stuff. The auditor, the lawyer that been split into there. So we decreased it and then increased it again.
Will we accept the EMS budget at $752,194.63?
I'll second that. Sorry.
Oh, in the reverse draft, I have,
We got a vote.
in the reverse draft, I have to go first this time.
Right, Rusty.
Yes.
Laura.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
And yes.
Seems very needy.
Okay, so we got one left, sewer department.
I don't know, Pell, but good luck.
Well, pretty much the same as this year.
Wasn't that, but wasn't that 2% change or some such?
I talked to Dirk today and somehow we're off about 45 EDUs. We can't figure out where they went. Nobody lost some when they tore down the houses on Temple and Liberty, but that should have already been set into place.
Right.
So we gotta go through and figure out either we miscounted or this houses shouldn't just disappear.
Yeah.
I did talk to him also about us having a meeting to increase the rate to whatever, I mean, it's been what, 9 years. So
8 years, yeah.
he also wants to increase the tip fee that he has over there.
Yeah.
If we're gonna start running maintenance more often because of the type of material they're sending, we have to pass that on.
Yeah.
Roger, you or he think that when we build that extra road that we might be able to increase our tipping? Build our road through there? Because obviously, if there are some trucks that didn't want or couldn't make it, they will be.
Well, I think I don't know if they all put in this side of, or the other side of the tunnel, because they have a pump station there where they would drop, I'm not sure.
No, that's what they do, but we bought the property so that we would build the road there through that pump station so that those trucks could get in and out and stuff. I'm just wondering with that, when we put that road in, which we should be doing, that, you know, a little more background, that maybe we'll get more.
I think it would give us better opportunity for any cleans or anything like that, 'cause we would reach out to different companies that have different vehicles. Right now, we're very locked into companies with small enough vehicles.
You're talking about under the tunnel?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the pump station outside.
Right.
That's where we do our goop.
Right.
I'm talking, we're gonna build the road from that back out to the front road, and maybe we can get more people, maybe some of the people with their tractor trailers, we gotta come in there and try to back it around, maybe they don't do it, I don't know, I'm just wondering if we can get
So
more.
I'm trying to make the entrance a little more,
Yeah, they can pump into that and drive right back out.
Yeah, 'cause we bought that piece of land from Bunkowitz.
I'm just saying, we may be able to improve the tipping with that.
I thought you were talking about going around the
No.
bridge and like.
No,
No,
I'm talking about just dumping the goop.
Just, it's more like a driveway than a road,
Oh,
circular.
So where are we now on the sewer? We're once again, it's 2% off.
Yeah, so it's 1,876,378.69.
Is the expenses, and then the revenues was,
We're gonna have to match it. That works the same as the EMS.
This is slightly different number than what we have on ours.
Yeah, I see that.
is that on the front there?
I'd like to point out though, this current year probably also for people who are let it just roll into their taxes, go into escrow, so we haven't received that money yet.
You know how much an EDU is right now?
146, I believe, plus a $5 capital improvement.
That might be with it.
I think that is with it.
141 and 146 has the $5, that's you recorded, the $5 improvements every quarter.
Yes.
And it's the water that does the hydrants.
Right.
I think we've got our back money for sewer, all right? We get that in, March.
How many EDUs do you think we got?
That I don't know.
Anybody know how many EDUs we got?
We looked at it one day.
Oh. Something like this.
Make a guess. 1,700.
Say 13 or 1,400.
somewhere in there. The numbers on my desk, because we did look at that.
4 is 6 grand times 4. So how much are we behind for 2% off?
What do you mean?
With it going up 2%.
Oh, yeah, we're just gonna have to add it to the revenue somewhere.
So it's two. It's gonna go up 2%.
To make the numbers even.
And just give me a minute.
Or we gotta cut it out of the expenses. That's up to you. Which side you wanna take it on?
Well, I'm just, what about you thinking? Maybe we raise our EDU, not today. It's at 146. I like even numbers. If we pop that to a $1.50, or 149, because we like to.
$49.99.
Yeah, once we pop that to 149, that would bring us close to $100,000 more, which would be about the 2%. I did that right somehow. I had it a minute ago in my head.
We don't necessarily need it.
Well, we don't have to do it. I'm just talking about if we have to do anything about that fact that it's less.
Sounds like robbing Peter to pay Paul though, because if we're gonna increase the sewer for everybody, just to decrease the taxes, is that what you're saying?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The sewer is a separate tax. It is a tax, but it's a different deal. And if we have to spend $1,876,000 this year as opposed to $1,839,000 last year, if we have to spend that much more money, we have to find a way to get that money. And the only way we get it with the sewer is in the sewer rental.
Okay. So this is all
Yeah.
encapsulating this way. Got
The
it.
tipping fees, you
So
mean?
we, I mean, we pretty much balance it other than like $3,000.
Yeah, and I don't
We-
see
we-
a reason why when we get that clean, we can't increase that tipping fee. I mean,
Yeah.
We've got one of those tanks that just can't be used right now to get it squared away.
Yeah, if it's adding a burden, we need to increase
I
it.
mean, I would much rather increase the tipping fee than the EDU rate.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I wasn't saying we're gonna solve it. I'm just trying to get us through that 2.0.
that'd be nice to bring it back to.
So we just
Just gotta raise it $2,792.82. Even out.
how much?
$2,792.82.
That's all
I put on the revenue side.
2,000.
Yeah,
Put on the
Bring
revenue
it down to
under,
2%,
Put on the tipping.
total tax.
yeah, I don't see a reason why that would be made up in the tipping fees.
Right, so right now we got the tipping fees at $349.
I would think 52 wouldn't be.
839.
$349. Make some
Mike, I'm not sure if I'm getting it.
$351,792.
Uh,
So now the numbers even out.
Mike, I'm not sure if I'm getting it here. Hang on just a second for me, okay? On here, on our page 1 of sewer, it says sewer. What does it say? Where's revenue? Revenue, it says sewer revenue, 18839.
Right.
And then over here, it says sewer expenses, 1876. So that's, you said something about $2,000. That's
Right now.
$47,000.
They're both 187,637.
They are both?
So for revenue, we've got sewer, there's only a couple of them, so let's go.
It's not on my page.
It's on the front page.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through them. 'Cause
First
sewer
page.
rec, we've got 1,472,609.
Oh, I'm,
Sorry.
Interest and penalties is 33,476. Tipping fees now are 351, 792.82.
Okay, I messed up.
Interest earnings are 17,000, and then other unclassified revenue is 1,500. All that should get you to.
I'm sorry, I made trouble. I messed that up because I'm looking at, on the document, I'm looking at this revenue page and it says 1839, and now I'm looking on the front cover page and it says, expenses revenue 1873. So they didn't, that's why I was confused. They don't match up.
So now it's 1,876, 378.
Okay, that's fine. No, that was why I was fussing, Mike, because I was looking at that other page of revenue. And it doesn't match the front page.
You're not doing your wine insurance.
I'm just saying, this is the document from today. It didn't match. Okay.
What's your new number? $1,876,378.69.
1876378.
378, on the bottom of the row, I got it.
Can't forget the 69 cents.
No.
More like that.
It's a good number.
It came from one of the benefits.
Where's any?
Software, it came from software.
Well, we adopt a sewer budget of $1,876,378.69.
Second that.
All right, any other discussion on it? Brian,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
John?
Yep.
Rusty? Yes.
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 And
It's written, so it shall be done.
all we got tonight. Maybe record time.
Move to adjourn.
Too slow.
Oh, sorry.
So the
Thank you.
I wasn't listening, Ron, you're.
tax rate remains at 387?